Technology has led to a lot of scams. We need to be aware of those to help protect your money. It's a scary thought to have your identity stolen or to be scammed and to lose money. Unfortunately, it's out there, Alex. Number one is what do people need to be aware of?
Yeah, so people need to be aware that, listen, these scammers are quite intelligent. The days of like the Saudi prince who needs your help, wire $100,000. I mean, sometimes that happens, but scammers have gotten a lot more intelligent nowadays. They know your demographic information. They might know your tendencies and your habits. And so equipped with that information, they're going to target you very well. So you really at a basic level kind of always need to be on your guard. Any email that you receive, any phone call received, have a little bit of, kind of have your antenna up, have that red flag aware, like, hey, is this legitimate? Is this a real call? Is this a real email? I need to check into this more.
So how should people be aware from things like, the IRS, which is a common one, Social Security, because they do tend to target retirees. I mean, how should they expect to receive the proper communication versus like how a scammer might approach it?
Yeah, and these types of scams, right, they're elevated this year. One, COVID, people are at home, things are kind of chaotic right now, but also too with the holidays, there's a lot of online shopping. Yeah. And so, people are getting a lot of emails, a lot of receipts. So always be aware of, what you should be looking for. I'd say the other thing too is understanding that scammers are going to play into fear and urgency, right? Those are like the two main ingredients of a scam. It's going to play into fear and urgency, right? If you don't do this in the next, 3 hours, your accounts will be seized, liquidated, and captured, right? So it always plays into this doomsday scenario that if you don't take action very, very quickly, they're going to, something bad is going to happen. So always being aware of that. The other thing too, and I've noticed this, especially with retirees or if they have large sums of money, is they might get a call, right? They'll get a call from a bank, like, oh, I bank at Wells Fargo, and they'll say, hi, I'm so-and-so with Wells Fargo. Always be careful with those calls. What you might want to do is just, okay, what's your name? Okay, what is this in regards to? Not a problem. I'll give you guys a call back. Hang up and actually look up the legitimate number of Wells Fargo. So instead of conversing with that person right over the phone, go, not a problem. I'll give you guys a call right back. Look up the actual phone number for either like the bank, the financial institution, whatever, and call them directly instead of conversing right then and there.
So going back to the source yourself rather than just the incoming call. So let's talk too about emails, because that's a common way. I mean, a scammer will send out all these emails. It's called phishing, and there will be a link or an attachment in that email. How do they deal with that if it's questionable?
Yeah, so you want to look at like who's the sender, right? Look at that email. Sometimes they're very close, like they'll change one letter in the sender name, so you have to be very careful too. There can be links within the email that'll say click here. What you can do, just a little kind of tip, is when you hover over the link with your mouse, it'll tell you where you're going. And if you see a link with a bunch of random letters and numbers, you can probably feel like this isn't the best place for me to go to. Delete it out of your deleted box and just be done with it. Yeah. It can be tough. It can be tough to recognize, but always being aware of what you might be receiving is the most important thing.
Yeah, and just being careful on clicking those links. Again, like you said before, is going back to the original source. So instead of clicking that link, going back to the original website, whoever it says it's coming from, and trying to get the information that way.
And again, just to bring this full circle, our clients are, clients that typically have higher net worths, they make more money, they have more of a nest egg, they can be the biggest targets. Again, scammers, they know their demographics, they want to target those people with more money, so they're typically more susceptible, and that's always something we're talking with our clients about. Hey, is this link legitimate? Is this email that I got good? I got this call or email, I got this email from the IRS, is this legitimate? We walk them through, okay, check these areas first.
Yeah, and the IRS doesn't email you, by the way, so be careful of that. So being aware, one, we're all being targeted, scammers have your information out there, and then taking the appropriate steps to protect yourself, especially by going back to the original source. Those are ways that you can help avoid scams, protect your own money, very important. Instead, think about these things so that you can be financially successful. If you'd like to talk more with us, being organized is really the first step in avoiding scams, and that's really the first step in financial planning. That's what we help people with, knowing where your assets are at, where your money's going. If you'd like to talk with us, go to our website, onedegreeadvisors.com. You can schedule a call with us. We'd love to talk to you.